Hello and welcome back to yet another Memorabilia Monday. This, of course, is your favorite part about.
Mondays,
I'm John, and with me, as always, is my old man.
Bob the Collector.
Well, collector, how you doing?
Not that great. I think you know the reason why.
Yeah,
Our Packer team had a horrible defeat on Saturday night, and it goes along with a lot of the other tough losses we've had in the playoffs recently, and it's just so hard to watch. You think you got the game won, 21-3 at halftime. All you have to do is just keep doing what you're doing the first half, and it just fell apart. So it's disappointing. It's it's hard, but there's next year. Hopefully, we'll be healthy again and able to come back. But we had so much promise for this year, starting off 2-0, and
we did until that Denver game.
yeah, that just killed us. The injury to Micah Parsons was just huge.
Took there out of the
Yes.
whole team.
Yeah,
But I'm surprised. That's not the avenue I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna say you were disappointed because your Kansas State Wildcats lost to my Arizona State Sun Devils in
yeah.
basketball.
So that's been a rough week for me all around of that. Yeah, I'm wearing my Packer hoodie, so I'm still, sporting my favorite team. But yeah, no, that was rough. Yeah, the Kansas State game that was tough, but the Packer loss was even worse just
Yeah,
because it's playoffs and
all
it
right.
meant so much against the Bears.
Absolutely. But like you said, always next year. Saw some really nice flashes out of Jordan Love, so that was exciting.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs with a little bit of rest and hopefully in the offseason get healthy. He looked really good at the beginning,
Hmm.
so hopefully he's back. Hey, Matthew Golden looked good.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown. He was
Just
pretty
get
exciting.
a dang kicker.
Yes, yeah. And maybe think of rolling Jordan Love out once in a while rather than just sitting there in the pocket taking the hits.
Right.
That's
But, collector, you're talking about wild card weekend. Football is in full swing. You got basketball season heating up. You got hockey in the midst of, some action. And all the other sports, pitchers, catchers, going to be reporting here soon.
that's good luck.
So everybody wants to know, what sport did you go with today for Memorabilia Monday?
Well, I needed some they say comfort food or something that makes me feel happy again. The
Yeah.
Packers. So I went back to some of their glory days. We've shown in the past Bart Starr, we've shown Paul Horning, um, some of the bigger names, Jim Taylor from those glory years of the '60s. I brought in a couple other items that I wanted to show from that era. So number one, and this goes along with our show from last week when we talked about the friendliest guys. Here are a couple more that I forgot to mention, and but somebody else, one of our other viewers mentioned this in their comments, which was great because it reminded me Ray Nitschke. He
Yeah.
was wonderful. Yeah, he picked you up. We saw him at a Menard store. He was doing a store opening and found out about the last minute. We came there in town here, and you were about 3 or 4 years old, and he grabbed you and picked you up and held you in his arms. So that was pretty exciting. Then he was a great guy,
Yeah.
beautiful auto. So Ray Nitschke, another one that somebody mentioned that
He would have been a nice guy to have on the field yesterday in that fourth quarter.
we could definitely use them. Yes, another guy we could have used was Jerry Kramer,
Mm.
one of the Hall of Fame guard, and again a great guest that we've met over the years. He let you try on a Super Bowl ring
Yep.
at one of the shows, so that was fun. So Jerry Kramer, another one. Max McGee, Max McGee, the legend of Max McGee,
Yeah.
great Packer announcer, but what a great story that he had for that first Super Bowl, where he
Yeah.
didn't
Super Bowl
expect to
MVP.
play. He was a little bit hungover the day of the Super Bowl. He didn't expect to play, but the starter at the position was at the receiver was hurt, so he came in. He had the first touchdown in Super Bowl history. I think
That's
he had
that's incredible.
seven catches for 138 yards, two touchdowns in that first Super Bowl. So yeah, what a performance!
And you think back to that era, right? The 60s, when the first Super Bowl took place. Passing wasn't as big as it is
Oh,
now. Seven for a buck 38 and two touchdowns is like 20 for 250 and six touchdowns today. If if
and
if we're accounting for inflation.
and he was at the end of his career. Do you realize that season, how many catches do you think he had? How many receptions for the entire season?
7.
Four.
Oh, wow.
Four catches for the entire season, and he goes off and gets seven in the Super Bowl, 138, two touchdowns.
That's how
All
you ride off into the sunset.
yeah, no kidding. Um, Another guy that we met that was great to meet was Mark Fleming, Super Bowl 1 and 2 champ. He signed it, he inscribed it. And we'll show you all these mini helmets that we have, but yeah, it's just a beautiful signature. Talked about he mentioned Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame and personalized it to you. So that was another great player, tight end for the Packers from those glory years. And I got one more.
All right.
This is a Hall of Fame field goal kicker. Something
Oh,
we could have used last night. Jan Stenerud. Wouldn't it have been nice to have him in there to kick that extra point?
I don't think you would have missed.
He would not have missed. That is what. Let's bring him out of retirement, put him back on the field.
I like the plan.
So
Can't be much worse.
those are the ones I brought in just to bring back some joy in my life that I need right now. The glory days of the Packers and those first two.
Remembering that, it's not all doom and gloom if you're a Packer fan. We have had success, unlike some teams in the division. So,
Right. Yeah, that's true. And of course, Jan was not on those teams in Super Bowl 1 and 2, but this was, we had him for a year or two in the '80s. But
yeah,
he was still a great kicker, but he did not miss.
yeah,
And what the first kicker to be in the Hall of Fame.
that's quite the remarkable feat.
Deserved it though.
Yeah, absolutely. So, collector, out of the plethora of Packer greats that you gave, who would be your number one favorite?
Oh, probably Ray Nitschke.
Yeah,
I'm guessing I've got his jersey, not his game used jersey or anything, but one of those throwback jerseys from Mitchell and Ness that when I do go to a Packer game, that's what I wear. So and he was just such a nice guy. I didn't know what to expect. He had the reputation of being so mean and tough on the football field, but couldn't be a nicer guy. And when you get to meet him, and we
that's
got
really
to meet him,
cool.
and died way too soon.
Yeah. Well, collector, were you wearing that jersey yesterday for the game?
That's a good point. I was not. I went back to my old
There
Packer
you go,
jersey.
Packer fans. You know who to blame.
Well, I wore my Packer sweatshirt from about 30 or 40 years ago. Probably not that long ago, but it's pretty close to it. That's pretty beat up, but it worked a couple weeks ago when we needed a win. Well, more than a couple weeks ago because we're on a 5 game losing streak.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was months ago.
It might have been the first Bears game that I wore it at, and I thought, well, I need this back. I need to put this sweatshirt back on. But you're right, I should have worn Nitschke.
Yeah. Then we might have been able to get a stop, but we couldn't stop a nosebleed in that second half. So,
That's correct.
all right. Well, collector, thanks for taking us down a trip down memory lane. Uh, anything else you'd like to add before we get out of here?
I think that I just need to do this one last time for the season, so I don't expect another football one for a while because I'm gonna need to take some time off from football. I think after that game,
Yeah,
so look for something different next week.
absolutely. All right. Well, with that being said, that wraps up another episode of Memory Lane Monday. We hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help grow our YouTube channel. It means a lot. And as always, remember to keep it mint.
Keep it gem mint, just like these glory days of the Green Bay Packers, which will soon be back in 2026.
Keep it gem mint, everybody, and we'll see you later.
All right, bye.